March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, and every March at Olympus, it's a big deal. We have speakers that come in, and I remember sitting in the Olympus Center Valley Auditorium listening to a speaker who was actively fighting colon cancer. And she was sharing her story and encouraging other employees to go and get screened. And she pointed to my coworker who was sitting next to me and asked him if he had ever had a colonoscopy. He said, "I'm only in my 20s, so it's not really time for me yet." And she reminded him, "Isn't it free if you have Olympus insurance?" And he said yes. And she said, "Then you should do it." Even though colonoscopies were covered, I always thought it didn't really apply to me. I was only in my 30s. I had no obvious symptoms. I had no colon cancer in my family, but the message of you have nothing to lose and your life to gain really resonated with me. I went home that night and told my husband that I wanted to get a colonoscopy. He asked me if I was okay, and I said, yeah, but I shared with him that talk I heard that day and told him that I had decided I wanted to put my health first. The next day I set up an appointment with a gastroenterologist. When I called, they were confused because I told them I had no symptoms. I just wanted to do it because it was covered. I remained persistent as the nurses at each appointment asked me, why was I doing this if I was so young and I had no symptoms? And when I shared that Olympus covers colonoscopies for its employees, regardless of age or whether or not someone has symptoms, they were impressed. When the time came for my colonoscopy, the recommended screening age was still 50. I was only 37. I remember waking up in the recovery room, and the first words that my gastroenterologist said to me was, "I'm really glad you did this." She removed 3 polyps, and 2 of them at the time looked suspicious. Those polyps turned out to be adenomas, a type of polyp that, had I waited another 10 or 15 years to get a colonoscopy, had a high chance of developing into colon cancer. I was told to get screened again in another 3 years. At my next screening, which happened last year, the doctors removed 2 more polyps. I'm proud to work for a medical device company that makes the equipment for colonoscopies. It's a great feeling to be part of an organization whose purpose is to make people's lives healthier and safer.